talk show that's 10 minutes in length. Now let's just get right to the reason why you're all here. Obviously, you're all here for Prince Edward Island news. I know this. Right? Yes, apparently lawmakers or law enforcers even in Prince Edward Island are using Nickelback as a deterrent for drunk driving. They're playing Nickelback for drunk driving. So you're in favor of this. I'm seeing some nods. That's good. You're in favor of this. Okay. Yes. Now, I'm not sure why this is making headlines now, because this has been on the books for quite some time now. This has actually been a crime deterrent for quite some time in Prince Edward Island. I'll walk you through how this whole works. So here's the hierarchy of things. So, drunk driving, you have to listen to all of Silver Side Up. You have to listen to the whole album, all the way through, and like all the way. Yeah, that's rough. Now, break and enter, that's a whole other thing. You gotta go through the whole discography. All Nickelback CDs, everyone. Yeah, see, I know, but it's working. Don't scoff. It's working. And vehicular manslaughter, a little stiffer, obviously, a little tougher. You actually have to marry Chad Kroeger. That's a real thing happening. I know. You're a little. That's like, remember Chavril? There's a whole backstory. I'm gonna back this up with facts. Chavril. Remember, we all forgot that Avril Lavigne and Chad Kroeger were briefly together. They were a thing. Well, fun fact, fun story, fun fact. She was serving her sentence. You didn't know that, did you know? She backed over a guy in Charlottetown and then just served the sentence. So it's clearly working. Is my point. That's probably not a true story. Here's a story that is true. Apparently, there are some young entrepreneurial upstarts in Missouri in the States that are making a Justin Trudeau scented candle. Now, let me explain what that means. It means when you light said candle, it emits a scent of our sitting Prime Minister. So it's like a candle that smells like him. I'm not sure how that works. Now this is also part of the true story. They actually don't know what he smells like, because I imagine people from Missouri don't really know what Justin Trudeau actually smells like at most. So they arbitrarily picked chai tea and maple syrup. They just picked that randomly and made the candle smell like that, which feels pretty accurate.
That is actually, yeah.
Right? Have you smelled him before? Have you smelled our...
No, but like I get that vibe.
I have actually. This is a fun story. I actually did meet him, and he's so chill, and he rolls up his sleeves, and he wears like a tie that's kind of like not tied. So I actually met him before, and he was taking selfies with a group, and because he's so chill, I was like, dude, your selfie game is solid. And he was like, thanks, man. That's an actual conversation. I duded the Prime Minister. He has a dude vibe. Let's stay focused. So my point is, this candle we were just talking about moments ago is so accurate that if you let it burn for just over a year, it actually starts to smell like crude oil and disappointment. So it works. It's clearly... I didn't know I was at Trudeau's camp. Thank you for that, Molly's on my side. Thank you, Molly. Or her keyboard is, at least. That's good. I would like to bring out your first guest. You want to meet your first guest? I thought I had more jokes, but I'm like, no, we only have 10 minutes. Let's just get right to the guest. It's only our 4th episode in season 1, and we've landed royalty. It's a big get, folks. It's a big get, and you will see when you see the hardware she's got. The current sitting Miss Fuller Woman Canada. Please welcome Vanessa Nash-Gale. Vanessa Okay, very good to see you. Hi, you look fantastic.
Thank you. You look great.
Look at you with the shiny thing. My voice went up. That's how good that is. This is great. How are you? How's your tenure as reigning Miss Fuller Woman
It's
Canada?
pretty great. I've met some really interesting people.
Justin Trudeau?
Not yet.
Oh,
I'm hoping it'll happen.
Take a deep breath when you do.
Yeah, I'm going back.
That's good. What have they been up to? Those aren't words at all. What have they had you up to since you started?
I actually just hosted a fundraiser for the Toronto Rape and Crisis Center, so helping women in trauma. And we raised some money, and we were collecting donations of unopened toiletry items and clothing.
Come on.
Yeah, so I had like a giant IKEA bag of both.
Wow.
Yeah.
IKEA's not even a sponsor. That's great. That's really impressive.
Well, I had to get it from
Yeah, because they have you doing cool things, which is great. Like my wife went to your big win, and she said she came away feeling really great about it. So I need to thank you for that. So clearly it's a pageant that is doing something right, because people are feeling good about it, you're raising great funds and everything else. So I just have to ask you, as a very effective and very outspoken feminist, did you have any qualms or any sort of like inner turmoil about it actually being technically a beauty pageant? Is that a thing that you struggle with at all?
Yeah, like initially, absolutely,
Yeah.
I had that, and it was sort of like, well, I'm going to do this because it's a bucket list thing, but like, you know, I don't know how I feel about it. But then once I actually got into the competition and we had to do, well, I shouldn't say we had to, but we were encouraged to do community service and volunteer work. And then we were also encouraged to have a charity that we were going to work with during our reign. So I saw that there was a lot of like really good-hearted stuff in there. And really, feminism is about choice. You can choose to be beauty queen, or you can choose to not.
Yes.
You can choose to be...
Exactly. speaking of good answers, you better have some more good answers because it's time for 10 quick questions. 10 quick questions! Alright, so here's how this works. Very simple. I bounce 10 rapid-fire questions off. You don't overthink them. You just answer, and Molly was going to decide whether or not you are correct or incorrect. It's completely arbitrary, and even if you're right, you could be wrong, and vice versa. And if you get enough questions right, the entire audience goes home with Justin Trudeau candles. Yeah! That is not true at all. All right, here we go. So, based on personality, who is the tallest Spice Girl?
Ginger.
Correct, apparently. Given the choice, tofurkey or fakin'?
Fakin'.
Incorrect, apparently. Maybe it's a maybe. All right, here we go. A real person who would make a fitting member of the Avengers.
Me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kevin James, James Taylor, Taylor Dane, or Dane Cook, who has the oldest soul?
Kevin James.
Oh no, apparently it's not. Apparently it's Taylor Dane. Apparently it's Taylor Dane. There are fans of Justin Trudeau and Taylor Dane in this audience. You're on a desert island. What spice do you bring?
Salt.
Correct. No, not correct. Sorry, Molly. I didn't mean to jump on you there. That's actually correct. Would you rather go through the entire workday with a colander hat or socks for earmuffs?
Socks for earmuffs.
Correct. Are you more comfortable overdressed or underdressed?
Over.
Which game could you play more effectively without being told the rules? Backgammon or cricket?
Cricket because it looks like baseball.
You're right. A bathtub half full or a beer can half empty, what's fuller?
Beer can.
Yes, that is a stupid question, and you still got it right. It made no sense at all. I just wanted to work the word fuller into the conversation. What's a scarier procedure, getting a crown on your tooth or stitches on your finger?
The tooth thing because dentists suck.
Boom, they do suck. Boo, dentists. I just lost a major demo, I'm sorry. And finally, do you define yourself as more of a sachet or a shantae?
Shantae.
Shantae. I'm a girl, working girl, that's your business. Vanessa Nash-Gale, the rating was low. Boom! Did you say speech? I love that you use speech. She just did a really good speech. She's already won. She doesn't have to jump through your hoops anymore. I would like to bring out your last guest of the show and your second guest of the show. You may recognize him from Fade to Brown. He's the founder of All That Action. Go check that out. And also, you can check out his weekly show called Weekly Dump on iTunes as well as YouTube. Go enjoy that and enjoy him right now. He's Amish Patel. Amish Patel!
Guys, my name is Amish Patel. Fun fact about me, I was the first brown guy in Canada. Yeah. I used to be very exotic. Now people are like, yeah, sure, whatever. But when I was a kid, people were really mad. Like my neighbors were like, hey! Go home! Which is weird, because I was already walking home from school. I want to go home and watch Degrassi just like everyone else. Okay? But eventually they got more specific, and they said, hey! Go back to Pakistan! Which is also weird, because my parents are from India, so it's just... Geographically, that is incorrect. But I was really mad about it as a kid, right? So I went to my dad, I was like, Dad, let's go mess these guys up, you know? Because as a kid, I thought me and my dad were like a two-man crew. We were going to fight. Take over the neighborhood. So my dad, very practical, very pragmatic guy. I was like, Dad, let's go fight these guys. Okay, tell me to go back to Pakistan. My dad, very pragmatic. He says, tell them you're from India. Maybe they don't know. That was his advice. Like my dad thought they were saying, hey, go back to Pakistan. And then I was going to be like, actually, we're from India. And they were going to be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. This is so embarrassing. We're going to study a geography textbook and we're going to figure this out. And now I feel like a hick. Now there's places where I go and I'm like, what are these guys doing here, you know? If I go to a Tim Hortons, I want to see an old Indian lady buttering that bagel. Recently I went to the Tim Hortons. There's a 20-year-old white girl there, and I was like, God damn it, they're stealing our jobs. What kind of life is that? Guys, that is my time. Let's go.